friends of the show. Dawn and Kevin Wanzer are here. Well, three, and Jacob, their son, is here as well. And they were on my show quite a while back talking about a caretaker's wish, and they have a big event coming up. So, Dawn, I'll welcome you first. And can you tell us a little bit about the event, and then we'll tell people what a caretaker's wish is and why you started it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us again today, Angie.
Welcome.
What we're doing, this is going to be our 4th annual Wheels for Wishes September rally. And
It's for wishes.
and it's up at Heritage Square. It's on September 21st. It's a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's a show to sponsor, to help take care of caregivers in our community, caring for the disabled, injured, or those suffering catastrophic illnesses. And the idea behind this show, Angie, is to we're turning it into a food drive. So it's an absolute free show. It's free to show your car. It's free to the public. Of course, the amusement park will be open. But we're doing this as a food and toy drive for caregivers and their family coming up for our Thanksgiving and Christmas programs.
Okay, so for people who don't know about a caretaker's wish, I want to explain that too. So again, the event is September 21st. It's free, Wheels for Wishes, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Heritage Square in Golden. Now, when you talk about caretaker's wish, when you joined me in the past, we talked about you caring for your 2 sons for 16 years now.
Yes.
And Cody passed away, and Jacob is here today. And you said that a lot of people forget about the caregivers. You're at home, your husband Kevin's out working for the family, you're taking care of these kids, you can be isolated, people can forget about you, you get exhausted, sometimes you don't get a break because maybe you don't trust other people to take care of, or you're afraid they might not be able to properly take care of your boys, and now Jacob himself. So you grant wishes to caregivers, and at Thanksgiving you're going to provide food, and then for Christmas, toys?
Right. Basically what we do at Thanksgiving is we find caregivers in the community, and we buy the entire Thanksgiving meal, the turkey, all the way to the dessert and drinks and everything. And we deliver it right to their doorstep, and we make sure there's enough food to cover the entire family and even people that they have coming in, family members that might be coming in and visiting. Last year, we hit about 67 caregivers and their family fed just under 350 people. And so we're looking to double, hopefully even triple that, and we're starting the food drive early to cover that. And then as far as the Christmas program, it's called Adopt a Caregiver Christmas. And we try to find, based upon what we have, we're fully donor supported. So what we pull in, we actually adopt a caregiver and their family for Christmas, and we provide the Christmas for them.
Because a lot of people don't realize the financial impact, because you can't work outside of the home. Jacob's a full-time job for you taking care of him.
Yes.
And so there's a financial impact on the families when there's a diagnosis that may affect an adult or a child, like your boys were affected. And you take care of everything for Jacob, right? I mean, I've seen you take care of him.
Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely correct. And most people know most caregiver situations are gone down a lot of times overnight to a one-income family. And I mean, it's a real traumatic financial stress and change.
Yes. And
there is only one person that can go out and work. And if you're talking about caregivers that are single parents and things like that, the financial stress is huge. And just to provide, I mean, we'd love to be able to provide everything we possibly could, but just sometimes just those little things that mean so much to caregivers. Everybody knows what a Thanksgiving meal means when you can all sit around. And caregivers, a lot of times, they're not in the situation to go do all the shopping. Then, a lot of times they want to cook. So we'll bring the food to them so they can prepare the meal how they need. Sometimes they have to prepare meals a certain way. So we want them to be able to do that. But going out and getting a big Thanksgiving meal for a family of 10 is a huge thing.
Well, when you told me once that you were in a parking lot and you were getting both of the boys out of the car and into their wheelchair and then into the, shopping center, and that a woman approached you and said, I was kind of having a bad day, and then I watched you for the last 10 minutes, getting your boys into their chairs and taking such good care of them, and I just had like one of those moments where I realized I really shouldn't be having a bad day because you're working so hard to take care of your boys.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
With that said, then, okay, I'm just going to ask you a question. You're so busy doing this. They take so much of your effort. And again, Cody's no longer with us, so you've got Jacob. Why? Why do you take so much energy and so much of your time I know you're a wonderful person, so I know your answer, but I want people to hear, why would you take so much effort to take care of other caregivers when you're an exhausted caregiver yourself? Why isn't somebody helping you, Dawn Wanzer?
Well, Angie, honestly, it's a bit of a selfish motive on my part, and when I mean that in a good way. I mean that it's therapeutic and healing for me. It also, what I want caregivers to understand is that you have a separate calling outside of being just a caregiver. You have your own desires and needs and purposes in this life apart from being a caregiver. And a lot of times the mindset for caregivers, they think, I'm a caregiver, that's it. And that's all I'm ever going to be, and that's all I'm ever going to be able to do. And I want to change that mindset, and I do that through A Caretaker's Wish. It's a voice. It's a voice for caregivers, and when I can take a caregiver and change their life just because they realize that somebody understands what they're walking through. I mean, I walk and live and breathe the mission every day, so I can look at them, and they don't have to explain to me their situation. I get it already.
You get it.
But I want to show them an avenue. Look, it just doesn't stop here. There's no limitations, even when you are a caregiver. And I can do that through A Caretaker's Wish. It's healing. It's therapeutic for me. It gives me a sense of purpose, too.
And you grant wishes to people who are at home and may not be able to afford things. We had Jessica on recently, and she said it may seem like something small, but you all raised enough money to get her a desk because she was a writer. And after she started taking care of her son, who she calls Chocolate, she stopped really taking care of herself and pursuing her dream. So you give her the desk, and she said, Angie, it changed my life. I started writing again. She said she went back to college. Now she has a scholarship at CU. So that's been life-changing for her. And it may seem, like she said, small to us, a desk, but she was not able to get that on her own. So Kevin, I want to ask you, because you said your wife will do most of the talking, but I want to ask you, when she came to you with this idea of starting Caretaker's Wish, when you had both of the boys to take care of, I know they received their diagnoses around the age of 5, and at that point, the care that you had to give them, they went from kids that were walking and talking and doing everything that kids do to needing full-time care. When she came to you and said, I'm going to take this on and start this, were you on board, or were you like, are you crazy? We're swamped with work here.
You might be amazed to find out that I was actually on board from the get-go.
I'm not surprised, because I know you guys.
We went, let's see. Boy, now you're making me think.
Sorry about that. I have to do it on the radio. I have to ask questions.
2007.
It was like 99, we took Cody and we went on that trip to Florida.
Right.
And then it was in 2007 we went with Jacob. And then it was right after
And
that.
Make-A-Wish did that for you?
Yeah.
Make-A-Wish.
So you were impacted by someone granting wishes to you guys.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And, interestingly enough about that, that's where the vision came, was on a Make-A-Wish trip, because there are so many organizations out there to help the people in need, as there should be.
Right.
But what about the people that are the full foundation that are
Yes.
behind those people?
It
They
so
have
makes
needs
sense.
and
Yes.
wishes and desires. And I came back and I actually held that little vision in my heart for a while. And then one day I brought the idea and I said, this is what I've seen. Basically, this is what God has shown me. Who takes care of the caregiver? What do you
We
do?
both witnessed it out there. We both saw the hurt on the caregivers' faces. And these are the family members, mom, dad, grandparents.
So you're at
and-
Make-A-Wish. You're at some fabulous location,
Right.
Disney.
Yeah.
And you saw the pain in the caregivers' faces.
Yes. And we realized that, we were also caregivers, and of course, they could see the pain on our faces, and so we felt like we needed to step up and try and take some of the burden away, if we could.
Yeah. And your faith is also a big part of this, isn't it?
Correct.
110% of it. God is the source of all that we do. And it's amazing when we have a family come in, they are prayed over fervently to help meet their needs. And I will tell you, there's always been those needs met.
Yeah.
And so we might not be the quickest moving organization, but we take our time with each family, because I don't want to just come in and meet a quarter of their need.
Yeah.
I want to meet their full need. And that takes time.
Well, and this can be not just taking care, of your boys for 16 years. And I mean, really taking care of them, getting in and out of the wheelchair, feeding them every need that they have. And starting this charity, Caretaker's Wish, to help other caretakers. But this rips apart marriages. And we've talked about this before. How has your marriage actually survived? But you told me it got stronger.
It did. Yeah, it did.
How?
You realize how much you need each other.
Your team.
Well, and it started with you two, you know, and a lot of times we lose focus of that where it all started. You know, it started with Kevin and I.
One kind of a weird thing is, well, maybe confess this on radio, but we got diagnosis with Cody, and to tell you the truth, we felt alienated from everybody else.
Really?
All of our friends and people we knew, they had healthy babies and healthy kids, and they were doing things with them, and they were, whatever. We didn't have that opportunity. So we kind of got alienated, and it wasn't anything on purpose. It was just one of those.
They don't know what to say. They don't know how to react.
And so Dawn and I kind of grew closer, I think, at that point, because we realized we needed each other, because we both understood the situations we were in.
Right.
And as we grew with our diagnosis, we became bonded.
We did.
You guys do have a great marriage. It's fun to hang out with you guys. You do. I know you're laughing. You guys laugh a lot.
We do. You know, Kevin is my best friend, and not just my husband, but he's my best friend. He's one I can confide in, and he's my safe haven.
Your safe place to land.
My safe place to land.
Well, for people who've heard you guys today and want to help out, again, you're trying to help caretakers at Christmas time. Also at Thanksgiving, you grant wishes for caretakers because they're often tired and they're in pain and they're at home and they're suffering, taking care of someone that they love, that they, maybe they lost a dream,
Right.
Either it's an older person that, they're taking care of at the end of their life, or like you guys with your boys, your children.
Yeah.
So how do they get involved with this event? It's Wheels for Wishes, September 21st. It's free.
Yes, it is free. And if you want to show your car, bring your car up. Motorcycle, truck, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, bring it up to show it. And when you come, we just ask if you bring a bag or, whatever you can afford to bring of non-perishable food items. We'll have a collection truck there. We will also have that collection truck if you want to bring toys for all genders, all ages, or gift cards that we can disperse to caregivers. If it's department store cards, food cards, things like that we can put together the Christmas baskets
Great.
for the caregivers and their children.
That's fabulous, you guys. Thanks so much for coming in. It's fun to have you guys as friends now.
Thank you, Angie. It's fun to be your friend.